Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, available on DAZN. Mate, what a location. I mean, they can only see the Romford Ball and the sponsors, but, mate, cracked it this week. Monaco.
Lovely. Well, I've had worse fight weeks than this, but I was talking to Sonny about this. It doesn't matter where it is. We just got to crack on and do the business, and we can enjoy the location afterwards. But it is nice when you're doing your walks round. You're not doing it round. I love Stratford. I love going to the Stratford Hotel, but it's a bit fancy walking around the old streets of Monte Carlo. So very, very lucky to be here.
Yeah, I was wondering where you was going to dig out, because a few people have done, it's a bit better than Birmingham, it's a bit better than Sheffield, but no hate on Stratford.
No, I loved it. I love the old Stratford Hotel. They're great there. It's great. You go into Westfield, you get every bit of food you want. That's one thing I'll say here. It can cost you an arm and a leg if you're going outside the hotel for a bit of food, but home is home. It always will be. We love England. We love Great Britain, but yeah, it's nice to do something a bit fancy sometimes.
Absolutely, and I can see you obviously got Great Britain on your chest, right where it belongs.
Up the Great Britain.
Could you talk just very briefly, because I know this might be niche to some of our boxing audience, a good day for England in the cricket, first day of the Ashes. Happy days.
Pink ball test in Australia, it normally only goes one way. The way we've been batting as well, we go for it. Probably not the best tactic on a pitch like that, but I think we've had a pretty good day. I mean, that final wicket partnership still going. Archer chipping in and Root getting to his century. And that's ticked off the list now. So Joe Root, soon to be the leading test run scorer in a couple of years, taking over old Sachin. So long may it continue. But it is only day one. We know what happened after a good day one last time. It was all over on day two. So let's hope that don't happen.
Did you get a lot of stick? Because we was in pole position, right? There was a time where I think it was it Pope and Duckett at the crease in the first test, and I was thinking, right, it's done. Well, did you get, because of your link to Australia, I reckon you got some serious DMs.
A little bit. I know the Barmy Army well. We do a little bit of stuff and talk to them a lot. But yeah, the Aussies love it. They rub it in a bit. Trav ball gets rid of the Baz ball and all that. But we was effectively 100 for 1 at one point in the second innings, and then it's not on to bat like that. And at Perth, it starts off green and zippy, and then by day 2, 3, it starts flattening out. Sometimes we need to play Bazball with a little bit of brains, little 10 over, see off Stark, and he's still got 6 wickets today, but I'm hearing that Stark looks pretty shattered, which is only going to be a good thing. Cummins and Hazelwood not there. Let's see what can be done.
There's only one thing I want. The front page of all them Aussie newspapers, the Western Australia and that, to just have to shut up for once, because they ain't had to in about a decade.
They love it, and listen, we ain't got a win there since, 2010, but they give Root a lot of stick. He's got his 100 now. I know it's only banter, but they've got to put some respect on Joe Root's name. He's an unbelievable batsman.
Joe Root, the GOAT. Right, yourself, you've got an opponent change, a 7-0 fighter stepping in. Doesn't really change anything for you, does it?
No, I mean, I was in for a tough fight before, I'm in for a tough fight now. Undefeated guy. Similar sort of stature and build to Mavutu. Obviously had visa issues, old Mavutu, but this guy's going to come with ambition, and my job's the same. Get in there and be the Romford Ball. That is what I have to do.
People are obsessed with using this cliche, and I've used it myself. When a fighter suffers a defeat, they go, is this the 2.0? Is this the 3.0? Whatever. Are we looking at a completely different Johnny Fisher from the one that lost it in May to Dave Allen? Or is this just the same Johnny with a couple of tweaks?
That's it. I didn't have to change anything too drastic from the first fight or my fights before. It's just about enhancing what I already had. I think the second time round I'll probably change too much, and that was me trying to be something else. To be the best version of yourself, you have to use your main attributes and enhance them. So that's the plan. And I'm an aggressive fighter. I don't think anybody can question that. So I've got to play to my strengths. If you're a batsman and you're a Bazball style player, there's no point trying to block out for 10 overs, because you're going to go out for 1 run off 100 balls. You might as well go out for 6 runs off of 3 balls.
Could you imagine Dom Sibley playing Bazball?
Yeah, Dom Sibley's not a Bazball player, but he never is going to be. He scores runs, but he plays his way. Zach Crawley plays this way, Ben Duckett plays this way. You've got to play the way that you know. If you don't, if you told Ronnie O'Sullivan to play snooker in a different way, he wouldn't be half as good as what he is, would he? If you told Big John to eat a Chinese in a certain way, or eat an Indian instead of a Chinese, it's not going to have the same flow, is it? It's the same sort of thing. If I told you to interview in a certain way, you wouldn't interview me as well as you normally do, because you are a very good interviewer, Oscar Bevis, and a very good writer as well. Best boxing writer I've ever seen. He has a flow off the page, the way he reads and writes. So yeah, big up Oscar Bevis, the writer.
I love the way that just went into you, just backing me there for the last 20 seconds.
I think I backed you before in an interview.
And every time you do it, it's on camera.
Yeah, it's it. Well, people might think it's a little setup. So, Johnny, give me a little leg up. But no, I mean that with all sincerity, because Oscar Bevis you definitely studied English or done something at school.
I went journalism school.
Yeah, you're good at writing. You know how to grip the reader and lead on and make everything flow. You know, every sentence they're all conjoined and it flows nicely without trying too hard. And I've got an appreciation for your writing skill.
€20 will be under your pillow.
Thank you very much.
Monte Carlo
might need a bit more than that though, because I'm in Monte Carlo.
Just about a flat white.
Yeah, that's it, bosh.
Look, I know it's kind of, I'm going to say old demons, but it's a talking point because it was your last fight. How does it sit with you now, that Dave Allen defeat?
It sits with me fine. I mean, it's not as if I don't know what I did wrong. I mean, me and Dave said after in the change room, he said, why did you box like that? What did you do that for? And you think at the time you're doing it right. You think you're doing something new and something that's going to get you. But it wasn't, it's just not me. That's not how I fight. The training camp was not how I should prepare. There was no intensity. I mean, going to Tony's gym now, the intensity has been, the word to describe it is severe. It was severe intensity, and training alongside Lillard, Zanes, Craig Richards, Conor Benn, Daniel Dubois. I'm very, very grateful to be in the position I'm in and get back to what I am, which is aggressive.
Were you excited to try something new in that fight though? Like, did you go into it thinking, do you know what, I can't wait to box?
Yeah,
Was that feeling there that night?
I'm always like that now. I'm not. It's never about the fear of. You fear failing. You feel losing. You don't want to lose. But I'm never worried about what can happen in the fight or what's this. I think when you start thinking like that, you've got to hang up the gloves. It's never a fear of what could happen to you in the ring. It's always a fear of, I don't want to lose. I don't want to let people down. I want to keep the run going. But now, that's gone. That's completely gone. So let's go and show people now. The pressure is to show them that yes, Johnny Fisher hasn't gone away. He's in the mix again. And one or two fights and it all changes again. You know what the landscape's like. Dave, before he fought me, he was out of the picture. Big Izzy's next to me. He's talking about me. I don't know what he's saying. Yeah, but I'm worried what he's going to do to me. But listen, the boxing landscape, the heavyweight landscape in particular, is a game of snakes and ladders, and I'm on them game of snakes and ladders now. I'm in that game, and it can change very quickly. So give me one or two fights, and you're back in the picture.
Do you know what? It was always refreshing from the start. You said, look, I didn't have the most amateur experience. I'm not looking at myself as like a world level prospect who's going to go in there and have a world title by 10, 12 fights, right? But now this new aggressive, I say new, but this aggressive Johnny Fisher, he's back, he's reinvigorated. What is your ceiling now? Is that something you can admit, you can open up to, or is it still, let's see?
Let's see.
Do you not know where your ceiling is?
I don't know, and I don't care. It's the same as what I was before. It doesn't matter. What matters is, to me, putting on good fights, exciting fights for people, and I don't think anyone, whether you like me or hate me or rate me or don't rate me, you've always been gripped and you enjoy watching me. I'm entertaining. That's a fact. So what is my job as a professional boxer before anything else? Is to entertain the fans and give people, the paying public who are coming to watch me, whether you want to watch me get beat or you want to watch me win, my job is to entertain. And one thing's for sure, especially with how I am naturally, I'm going to entertain you every time. Not one of my fights has been boring, whether that be Babic, Rhino, whether it be Armstrong, Bezos, they're all exciting, gripping fights.
Do you really think there's people out there that want you to lose?
Of course. Of course there are. There's people, that's just human nature in general. I think anybody starts to be successful or do something a little bit out of the
public eye.
Yeah. Anyone who does anything, I'm sure you, Oscar, in your local area, you're doing great things being a boxing journalist, you're a talented man, you're a writer. You might have people in your area or people look at you online. It's human nature. But normally then people who live in their mum's basement wearing Transformer pyjamas eating Watsits off of their chest. So don't worry about it. It's part and parcel of human nature. And I think it's a lot to do with how people are. But for every bad person there's 20 good people. So don't worry about it. That's life. If people criticise Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury, then everyone else below them, which is millions of people, are going to get criticism as well. So just roll with it.
There'll be someone watching this in those Transformer pyjamas thinking,
fucking hell, use your jab. No, he's rubbish. Calm down. Enjoy your jelly babies.
Final one on this before I talk about the landscape like you was on about. Guaranteed knockout?
Nothing's guaranteed in this life, Oscar. Nothing. Listen, the win is what matters. I've said it from the beginning, it's a boring answer. But whenever I talk about I'm going to do this, do that, it doesn't work out like that. All that matters is winning. Of course, instinctively, want to get the knockout. If I see it, I'm going to go for it. But winning is what matters in this game.
What did you make of TKV's British title victory over Fraser?
Yeah, I thought that was. It was, yes, of course, scrappy in parts, but I think that was. I thought TKV's strategy was effective. He took away the jab, rolling nicely with the shots and throwing that hook in. And I saw Barry today, Barry Smith, his trainer. Congratulations to them guys. I'm a good friend of Fraser as well. I've got massive respect for Fraser. I just felt I was a bit worried for him in that 11th round. It didn't look, in terms of from a mental side of it, the brain just worried me a little bit. When you're watching someone else, it's weird. When you're watching someone else, you're more worried than you are for yourself. But yeah, I hope Fraser's okay. He's done amazing things as an amateur, and he's one of them guys who inspires young people and young amateur boxers coming through. And I hope he's okay. That's all I can say. And I'm glad he finished the fight on his feet. But all I care about is him getting home safe and sound to his wonderful family.
Yeah, shout out Fraser, one of the sport's gentlemen for sure.
Yeah.
Look, I know Dave's kind of, I don't want to say gone after TKV, but he's put it out there, look, that's a good fight. I know Eddie said if it's a fight, it's got to be on DAZN, and him and Ben have had their bit of back and forth. Do you like that fight?
I think that's the logical fight to make. I think that's a good fight for Dave. It's a good fight for TKV. Yeah, there's a few contenders at that British level now. I think Adelaide will be moving around there. Adelaide's probably fought at a higher level than both, and with that, although he got beat by Hrgovic, Adelaide, I think he put up a good fight and showed a good bit of cojones in that fight. You got him, you got Solomon Dakers knocking around. I get a couple of wins, I'm in that mix, but I think that's the logical one to make, TKV and Allen.
Have you got your eyes set on that British title? A couple of wins, like you said, maybe back end of 2026?
Listen, if it came up tomorrow, I'd take a fight for the British title. I would take a fight for the British title in a heartbeat. But yeah, I think I'm one or two fights probably off of that in a minute, but if it gets offered, I'm taking it. No matter who it is or what it is, the British title's the British title.
Final one, what if you get offered the Jake Paul fight? Just say something happens to AJ in camp.
Oh, fantastic.
A little slip of a disc. Or...
That'd be alright, a bit of Jake Paul.
What would you do to Jake Paul?
What would I do to him? I would caress his face with my fist in a polite but assertive way. But listen, he trains hard. He's training like an athlete. I've seen some of his clips. He's training hard. And
Sparring with a Coley?
Sparring with a Coley. I think Sanchez and
Sanchez, yeah.
They was all in there. Listen, fair play to both.
He's actually sparring with those guys?
I don't know. I think my first reaction is if Joshua goes into that fight and walks across that ring and just unloads on him, my logical thought is it's over within 30 seconds. But boxing's not a very logical sport sometimes, and things can happen, and who knows. But yeah, if you're thinking about it, you think Joshua just goes across that ring and absolutely lamps him, but who knows what's going to happen. Credit to both men. They're doing what they need to do to earn a good bit of crust. Joshua's earned his right to fight whoever he wants. He's been a servant to British boxing for many, many years, and I guarantee you millions and millions and millions of people are going to tune in. And when I walk down the streets of Romford, people are going to ask me more about Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua than they're going to ask me about Jai Opetaia or Dimitri Bivol or any of these top guys, Canelo, Crawford, which is a shame because all of them guys, Jai Opetaia in particular is a great friend of mine, but not a great friend, but I've got an admiration for him, and I've met him and Mick Francis, and they're top guys. I've got massive respect, but it's quite a sad sport really in that way, that that's where it's come to. But listen, people are tuning in, so let them do it.
Let them do it. Johnny?
Oscar, good man. Bash.